channel. Today we're doing a tutorial that I think is quite fun because the eyeshadow and the crease somewhat matches the lip color that I'm wearing today. And I'm using a tone of eyeshadow that I have really been loving a lot lately. And it's those kind of mauve-y type crease colors. And for this look in particular, I'm using the LORAC Pro Palette. This is just the original one that has that black packaging and the silver letters. And the main star of the show is this shade called Mauve. It's just the perfect crease color, and it adds a little bit of something to the crease versus using tans and sort of neutrally shades. It definitely makes the eyes come together, and that is all I'm wearing in the crease, with just a little bit of the lighter colors in the palette to clean up around the edges. And then I went really bold with the liner, used a very inexpensive liner. I'm pretty sure it's around $3, and I have been enjoying it quite a bit because it gives a very rich black but very matte liquid liner look, which I have been loving a lot lately. And I definitely went a little heavy with it, and I will sort of show you how to do that and also clean up if you make a mistake. You can use a little makeup remover because I did my eyes prior to my face makeup and foundation concealer. And then I took it just one step further and I incorporated just a tiny bit of glitter, and this is just a glitter liner by NYX in a pretty gold shade. Just added a little bit of glitter on the underside of the wing just to give it kind of like a bit of a twist to it, just something different and something fun. I have been incorporating more glitter in my eyeshadow looks lately using like the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, which I absolutely love, and I thought, why not take this just a little step further and make it very easy. So that is everything. I hope that you guys will enjoy this tutorial. If you want to see how to do it, then keep watching. Alright, to start this look off, I've taken the two concealers that I always use, and I put a little bit of that over my lid to act as a primer, and then I'm going in with the original LORAC Pro Palette and the shade called Cream, which is a cream shade. And this is going to go all over the lid, all the way up to my brow bone as a base for the other crease color that we're going to be using here in a little bit. Next, switching to a Morphe M433 brush, I'm going to be using the shade called Mauve, which is exactly that, a mauve color. And it is a matte finish, and this is all that we're going to be using in the crease. So what I'm going to do is take this M433 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to start adding the color to my crease. And I'm not really being too precise with it because I can go back and fix any mistakes, and because this is the only color, it's a simple and easy thing to do. So I'm going to start off with using this brush first to just lay down some of the color and start building it up a little bit. You can use a pointed crease brush as well if you have that on hand. And what I've been doing lately is sort of turning my brush kind of upside down, kind of like pointing it down like you see me here. And that does help sort of blend out those edges towards the like upper crease area, if that makes sense. If you could see my hands, I'm doing like air quotes. But just sort of put down a just wash of color to start off with. Next, with this brush from EcoTools, I think this might be a concealer brush. I am not sure, but it is pretty wide. It is a chunky type of brush, and what I like to do with this is use this to really pack on a lot of color. So that's what I'm doing here. And again, it's got that pointed tip to it, so it really gets into my natural crease, but it also goes up a little bit higher. There's just something about this brush that makes blending a little bit easy, and it's just so easy to take this big wide brush and just slap on some color and be out the door. It's a really simple brush to use. I've had it for a while, never really talked about it. I do not like it for concealer though, I will say that. I'm pretty sure it is a concealer brush. Then with a pointed crease brush, this is one from Sephora. I don't know if they make this anymore, but it's the number 13 brush. I'm going to start blending it back and forth just to soften out the edges and make sure everything is really well blended. And here I am adding just a little bit more. And with this look, it's all about making it look blended, so it looks like you have several different shadows, but you really don't. That makes sense. Then moving on, I'm taking the white and the cream shade with a fluffy brush from Morphe. I think this is the E30 possibly. And I'm just going to soften out the edges of the mauve color, and I'm also using those two shades to highlight and also clean around the edges on the outer part of my eye so that you can't tell that I was quite sloppy with it. Then for liner, I'm going to use the NYC liquid liner, and I do recommend that you wipe this off because it can get kind of goopy. And so what I'm going to do is a very thick line, and it's going to have a wing. And yes, I do make a mistake. This liquid liner is definitely one that I would recommend for someone who is used to using liquid liners, because this is a brush tip and it's quite flimsy. There isn't any support like a felt tip or like a marker tip type of eyeliner. This one, you have to be really careful with it, and it does dry pretty quickly, and it sets to really nice like matte finish, but really intense. So I did make a mistake, but it's not the end of the world. We can fix it. Don't feel like you have to take it off and start over, because everything can be fixed with just a little bit of extra work. So here I'm going to fix it with the Sephora waterproof eye makeup remover and an angled brush. As you can see here, with that makeup remover and angled brush, I'm going to really sharpen that line and make it so incredibly sharp that you can't even tell. And if I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have known that I made a mistake. And it's going to make it super precise. And this is just a really old brush that I found in my drawer from Too Faced that I've had for years and I've never used it. So boom, there you go. Outer wing done. Now moving on to the inner part, where I kind of made a little bit of a mistake, and I'm using the same technique to clean it up, and using the kind of doe foot, kind of spongy tip of the other, or the opposite end of that tool, to soften out the edges. And then with the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner pen, this is a felt tip. This one has a little bit more precision and control. I'm using the very tip of it to sort of taper the inner corner, because that liquid liner is way too thick, the NYC one, for the inner corner. I wouldn't even dare try it. And then for the foundation, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation sticks. I've got a review on this. I love these. These are awesome. And I wear the shade Beige. And I'm using a weird kind of oval, kind of toothbrushy looking brush to apply this and blend it in. These are the Emax brushes that you can purchase from Amazon. Link down below for you if you're interested in knowing about these brushes, because they're really affordable. It comes a set of them. I can't remember exactly how many, for about 15 bucks, and it shipped within 2 days. I got it with the Amazon Prime, so really inexpensive as opposed to buying the Artiste ones, which are much more expensive. Anywho, moving on to concealer. I will have it listed down below. It looks like I'm only doing one eye, but I'm pretty sure I had the other eye done before I pressed record. So anyways, it's just my normal concealers that I always use, the same two that I used on my upper lid as my primer. And that's what I'm using down in the under eye area. Then I'm going to set everything with the Cinema Secrets Ultra Lucent Powder. I've actually been enjoying this quite a bit. So I start with the under eye area, and this Beauty Blender, the blusher, is dampened with some water, and also the original Beauty Blender, which is what I use to set my entire face. And I've noticed when I've done this step with the setting powder, I can get a lot more long wear with my stick foundation from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it lasts a little bit longer on my skin, which is great. Then back to the eyes, I'm using the NYX Liquid Crystal Glitter it's like a gold shade. And it's so easy to create just the tiniest little flick just to kind of dress up and create a twist to your eyeliner. You could do this with absolutely any single color glitter you want. You can do this with a foiled eyeshadow if you had that as well. Dampen your brush, create a bit of a liner. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and you see how easy that was. Then back to the face. Back and forth, you guys. I'm going to add some bronzer. This is the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I'm using the e.l.f. Small Complexion Brush. I think that's what it's called, or just the e.l.f. Complexion Brush. To apply this, I love this brush. It's like $3, and it works really well. And I'm doing my bronze/contour in one step, as you guys know I always do, because ain't nobody got time for contouring around here. So I just use the same bronzer, and this is also a matte bronzer, by the way. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. It's got the right amount of color to it, so it's good for a lot of skin tones. Then for blush, I'm going to use this Amaretto blush from Becca Cosmetics. This is part of the Champagne Splits. It was a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, and I love this blush. It's such a perfect everyday color. It goes with absolutely every single look that you could possibly think of. I don't even have to think about it. I could just slap this on. And then for highlight, I'm going to use these two highlight shades from the Carli, Bybel, and BH Cosmetics collaboration, and I'm going to use the Morphe M501 brush as always to apply it. It's the best brush for highlighter. And I'm going to start off with the light pink one, which gives me a light kind of icy pink glow, and then over the top of that I am going to also combine a little bit of the gold. I've been layering both of them. I'm currently wearing both of them right now, and I love it. It's actually pretty good. I'm very impressed with this palette. Just
a little FYI, I do have a review coming up on it very soon, so you'll be seeing that next week. And yes, I'm checking for the mailbox to see if the post office man is bringing me any special packages. But there it is. That's the glow. So pretty. For lips, I'm going to be taking the NYX High Voltage lipstick in the shade Flutter Kiss, which is a very deep kind of, I don't know, mauve berry color. And I thought it was just a little too kind of berry, and what I wanted to do was kind of, in a way, tone it down. So what I did was I took the Flawless shade in the same formula and applied that over the top. So I mixed the two of them together to create more of a mauve type shade, and this is the overall finished look, and I love it. I hope you do too.
Alright guys, that completes the look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I do. As you can see, it looks from a distance, it looks like it took a long time, but it was so easy to do. Yes, I made a mistake with my liquid liner, and it is okay. It's not the end of the world. I showed you how to fix it. We're moving on. We're looking past that mistake, and the overall look is very pretty, very sort of flawless looking with the foundation sticks, and lots of glowy dewiness, which you can totally tone it down if this is not your thing. And the lips, I thought, why not just make the lips match the eyeshadow? And if I would have thought about this a little bit, I could have matched my blush to do sort of like a monochromatic look, which I may do still in the future. So let me know what you guys think. I hope that you liked it, and if you subscribed, thank you so much for your love and support. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit that button and show some support. I love you guys very much. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.